Well, as the old people say, getting old is a son of a bitch. Hey, everybody, again, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, it is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and you have tuned in to another episode of the Don Miller Show, Drinking and Judging Conversation Podcast. Call it what you want to call it, with my man, Real Rap Kane. Hey, man, what up, baby? Thank you so much, man. We got so much to talk about. Listen, please tell your friends to like and subscribe. I want you to like and subscribe. We got to get these subscribers up. Tell people about the show. Hit the bell so you'll be notified when I bring my black ass on the radio. We want you to know when I'm on the radio. So hit the bell. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. My name is Don Miller. Joining me, as always, my good friend, Real Rap Kane. You can follow him on all platforms, even TikTok, at Real Rap Kane.
Yeah, thank you, Don, for the
he
TikTok.
On TikTok doing little dances, giving you deep thought.
I'm doing the ice bucket challenge.
Giving you deep thought on TikTok. Again, everybody, thank you so much for popping in with us tonight. We want to say to those who have followed us since we started this, we thank you. Peace and blessings to you. So much to talk about. I want to get out of the gate. Of course, we posted the base conversation tonight, but I really want, I want to get out of the gate. I really want to get out of the gate and mention the rapper who was just murdered in Houston, Texas at a bowling alley, some kind of event that was going on at a bowling alley. Rapper Takeoff from the Migos, who kind of, in a sense, changed rap in the last 7 or 8 years. The Migos, of course, had a different sound and a different presentation in their ability to engage. It was Takeoff, Offset, and
Quavo.
Quavo, right? I don't know them dudes. But this kid was murdered after what authorities are saying a crap game went bad. We want to send our condolences to his family, to the other members of that group. But I need to just say this. I'm going to get out of the gate and say this. Look, y'all need to cut this shit out. This is the dumbest shit when you are a young man, especially a young black man, and you done made all this damn money, and you still out here putting yourself in positions where ignorant ass shit like this. Ain't nobody scared of y'all. They know y'all ain't tough. They know you riding around with $1 million on your neck. They're going to keep robbing you. And this probably wasn't a robbery, but they're robbing rappers as well. The young robber just got murdered in L.A. at the chicken joint. He got murdered. They're going to rob you. They're going to keep robbing you. They're going to shoot you. And I need the authorities take rap murder off the books, right? Because to me, they're engaged in a conversation that, quite frankly, as far as I'm seeing, is driving this goddamn narrative. So listen, my condolences to the Migos who lose their partner and to the family of that young man. But y'all need to cut this bullshit out.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't a lot to say to it, unfortunately. You know, when you leave those environments and those elements, I think hip hop is the only genre where keeping it real goes wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you look at it holistically, you know, they talk about the stuff in the lyrics, right? And to be the realest rapper, you got to be in the realest spots, right?
Right.
Quote unquote realest spots, right? With regular activity around regular people, you know, who don't have as much to lose as you. I personally think it's a life thing. It's not just a rapper thing. I personally think it's a life thing where, you know, when you got something to live for, you got something to look forward to, when you got responsibility and accountability, it kind of changes your movements. It should anyway, right? It should adjust your movement some. And the places they be and putting themselves in, it really doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm trying to rationalize it.
Jay, can you do me a favor today? And you know, I don't do this often.
So you want me to go all the way?
No. Let me just say something, right? Jay, you from them streets, right? And you from the streets differently than I'm from the streets, even though I'm from the streets as well. Jay, speak openly, please.
I say you want me to go all the way. That's what you want me to do.
Go all the way, please.
So, I mean, you already hit the head on the nail on the head. You kind of alluded to it where, you know, these rappers, they really don't come from that environment. Well, they come from the environment, but they don't come from the activities within the environment. Right. So they really wasn't outside.
So right, absolutely.
So now when they leave their neighborhoods, right, and I talked about this on my personal channel, but when they leave these neighborhoods, right, and they become these rap stars or whatever, they got to be the realest rapper, right? So they got to keep the realest element around them, which is dudes that don't care about the next 5 minutes. Let's call it what it is, right?
Right.
So they keep that element around them because they appear to be real, right? I got shooters around me, right?
Right.
So the dumb part about it is, and what I talked about it is that when you go, the moment you leave your city, your town, or wherever you from, and you go to somebody else's, you're a visitor off the bat, right?
Absolutely.
There's protocols that come with that,
Absolutely.
right? I don't care who you're going to meet up with, who you're going to see, who you're going to chill with, because allegedly he was with the proper people in Houston. I'm not in the name throwing or nothing like that, right?
Right.
So they involved in a dice game. Anybody that's really from the hood know dice games. They end in fights and shootouts all the time.
All
There's nothing positive that come out of dice games, right? So the dude Quavo, right? I'm saying that right?
Quavo.
He supposed to have been down $100,000 and tried to bet his chain as well. Right. So he in his feelings that he's down.
Right.
And the people he's with ain't really about them kind of games. Right. So they get into whatever they get into, and the shooting starts. Right.
Okay, Jay, you're being nice. Let me just.
I am being nice. Let
me just say something. If you live in a mansion and drive a Rolls Royce, that motherfucker on the street, right, who trying to figure out how he gonna pay his child support or feed his baby mama and them kids, give no fucks.
But it's not even. It's not just that though.
They don't.
It's not just that, Don. The reason why I was trying to paint
but
the
when
picture.
but think about this, Jay. When you deal with people who ain't got nothing to lose,
it's a different mentality. I mean, when you're moving around, you a sheep or you're a wolf. I tell people this, right? You a sheep or you're a wolf. There's no in between, right? So, I mean, it's sad. Like it's a sad thing, and it's happened far too often.
Tell me somebody, right? I'm seeing this shooting. I'm seeing gun violence out of control, right?
It ain't out of control. It's just more visible.
Right. Okay. Media, absolutely. Right. This same gun violence you and I grew up with.
The same gun violence.
But I'm saying the perception is it's out of control. Would you agree?
Correct. I agree with that.
But what's bothering me about all of this is, right, when you got young black men with $50 million in the bank getting shot at a dice game, it's hard for me to be like, damn.
You can't rationalize that.
It's hard for me to be like, damn, right?
No, that's a fact.
Okay, what the fuck the most are you gonna win in the crap game, right? Can I just ask that? You ever shot dice?
Yeah, I've shot dice.
Okay, I have too. Let me explain. I'm sorry about my language. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But this just bothers me and it baffles me, guys.
It's definitely
baffles me. Here's a young black man. Look, I didn't listen to his music. He had one song that I kind of like, right? But he wasn't even the lying fake thug in the group, right?
He was the most humble one out of all
Absolutely.
of them. He wasn't even in the dice game, though. That's what people got to understand.
Right.
He wasn't a part of the dice game.
The point I make is this, guys. Young black men, young men in general, we got to make better decisions.
But listen.
We got to make better decisions. If you go home to a mansion or we got to make better decisions.
Going home to, but listen, you got to look at it holistically, right? So think about it.
And these guys ain't thugs.
No. But think about it, right? They going home to a mansion, but it's an empty mansion.
Right.
Let's call a spade, right?
Right.
Even if they got a chick in there, the chick ain't worth a damn. Let's go ahead. Let's go like that. You want me to go? I'm gonna go.
Go, please.
Right? Yep. So the chick ain't really worth a damn.
Right.
Right. You ain't got nobody honorable in the woman that you going home to that's gonna hold you accountable, right?
Right.
I seen something earlier where this dude just came home from prison, was saying how he's a rapper, right, from Jersey. He was saying how he was in the club and dude touched his chain and he backed him away from him. And the chick on his arm like, that's all you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So what you saying is right there and there. You know I'm fresh home from prison. Yeah. You want me to throw my life away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So think about these rappers.
Wrong chick.
Think about these rappers, the entertainers that's in these streets, right? They're in the streets because they ain't got a solid chick to go home to. The chick they going home to, everybody in the industry know what the insides feel like.
You know, and you're 100% right. So we want to shout out those young men who have made some money in that industry and went the other direction, but it's just not enough. When you look at the young people from 64th and King Drive, old block in Chicago, my street, the street I grew up on, street my mama lived on up until recently, if you see how many of those guys out of that set are dead and gone, RGB, and many of those guys, look, I can tell you though, there are people in this world, people especially in this country, who play lottery every day to win so that they can go away from the
But that's the part that's baffling. I mean, that's the part that's baffling because, I mean, I honestly, like, I never even reached that level of financial success, right? But I'm already a paranoid, cautious type individual. So I can't even fathom having that kind of money. Mm-hmm. And then people laugh at 50 Cent because when he leave, he moved with goddamn Navy SEALs.
Right.
And they call them soft and a punk. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The whole key is to get back home safely and to be involved in the less, because people ain't going to tend to try that when they see that many people around you. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's just unfortunate because I see businessmen, right?
Yeah, that don't even have that kind of problem with way more money.
With way more money who have security. Who have real security, right?
Yeah.
You hiring your boy.
But they don't even really need security. Nobody know who they is anyway.
Absolutely,
They're not reading the Wall Street Journal.
Absolutely. and I know everybody's like, oh, this is sad, but we gonna pray for this guy's family and the rest of his team over there at the Migos.
But then the crazy part, I mean, what makes it sad for him is that, like I said, to my understanding, he wasn't involved directly in the dice game. He was just there with his uncle. Is his uncle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So, he's not even there as part of the day. He just there with his folks. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, the dude Quavo, this ain't the first. Like I guess he's a firecracker. He's a wild one that always into something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And dude lost his life for nothing because he wasn't even a part of the ruckus.
But again, I know he wasn't a part of the ruckus. I've been in situations like that, and I'm the first dude to leave because I live by the theory. Only the paranoid survive. Okay.
No, it's not even.
I'm out, Jay.
I'm gonna stop using the word.
Especially now, I'm out.
But I'm gonna stop using the word paranoia.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that.
Find another word. Find another word.
Yeah. It gotta be smart. It gotta be cautious. It gotta be another. It gotta be logic or something. You know what I'm saying?
So let's move on. Our condolences again. So much to talk about. Speaking of security, right? I would be remiss if I didn't get on this conversation for a few minutes. I want to shout out all of our friends, Osiris, of course. What's up, brother, man? I miss you so much, brother, this weekend. Thank you. I love you and Shell and Brother Delvin. To LaTanya, of course, who always follows the show. To Bridget in Chicago, my cousin. I love you, girl. Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family of ridiculous behavior. My girl Ash over there in the cut. Brother Phil, man. Hey, man.
Hello.
So much to talk about. We got a lot to hit on, but I want to get out of the gate because I like to keep up with the news. Jay and I text back and forth because we kind of becoming guys who really pay attention because there's so many weapons of mass distraction going on in America, especially during a midterm election cycle. Yeah. They're throwing all kind of bombs at us to make us look the other way.
Yeah.
I want to hit on, you mentioned security as it relates to the young rapper, right? The young rapper guy who probably got 50 million, 60 million or whatever he's got.
He got more than enough.
Nancy Pelosi probably had the third largest Secret Service detail in the United States government right now. She's number 3 in line for the presidency of this United States.
He's talking about succession planning, so
yes,
you don't know what
absolutely.
you're talking about.
Just recently, her husband, there was someone who broke into their house through a back door, broke the window, went into the house, and hit her husband with a hammer. And so that's what's going on now. He's just had a head. Can I call bullshit? Can I call bullshit? Can I call bullshit, right? I don't know. I'm sorry. Y'all call me what you want to call me.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Pelosi, we keep you in our prayers. But can I call bullshit as a guy who's been around those people a lot? Jay, come on, man. You served this country 20 plus years, Jay. Can I call bullshit or am I wrong for calling bullshit,
it's
right?
something weird about that. It's definitely something weird about that.
First of all, when Nancy Pelosi leaves her home, there's still security there.
That's the part that people don't understand. But I think that's where the disconnection is at.
Right.
To be honest. That's where the disconnection is at.
You think when Nancy Pelosi leaves her home,
everybody
the security goes with her? Huh?
That's not the way that
we just going to leave right now, right?
That's not the way
That's not the way it works, okay?
Yeah.
Look, I'm from Chicago. You could go right now to 5048 to Hyde Park on Kenwood. Barack Obama ain't even there. He ain't been there. I guarantee you that whole neighborhood is shut down. The neighborhood, you can't go down the street. Yeah. They got barricades. He ain't been in that house since he went to D.C., right? Yeah. But that's still his house, right?
Yeah.
Come on, right? Look, I don't know what happened to Mr. Pelosi, sir, but listen, people, I'm telling you right now, first thing they dropped when this happened was, and he said terrible things about black people on his Facebook page. I don't give a shit, right? Don't put us in this. Y'all keep putting black people in this. We ain't in this.
Yeah.
We got some real shit going on over here, right? Don't put us in this, okay? Yeah, he probably did say some terrible shit about us, right?
He ain't by himself.
Thank you, okay? You ain't get ready to get us excited, right?
No, but that's the trick shot. Because too many of us fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Absolutely, man. You know listen, man, Mr. Pelosi, come on, y'all.
That ain't gonna happen.
First of all, they too rich.
But
they too rich.
It's not even that though. I mean, that is an addition. Not to take away from your statement. But when you understand the role that Nancy Pelosi plays within this country, and like I said, the line of secession, right? Mm-hmm. So her house is going to be secured, one, because of what she has access to.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
And okay, so imagine, right? Nancy Pelosi leaving to DC for a month. Right. No security detail at the house.
Right.
She go get in the shower and somebody put a gun in her head.
Right. It's bullshit.
Like it's not going to happen.
It's like somebody could camp out till she gets back.
Yeah, somebody could be in the
Stop,
eating,
man. What are we doing, man?
Doritos
what are we doing? I don't know what happened, but give me a better story than that. You know what I mean?
But Don, see, the problem is they can spin the story they want to because everybody is not going to analyze and know the truth. There's not enough people that realize it.
And then there was an audio up
that they took down
of a 911 call, Phil. What happened to that?
It disappeared 10 minutes after you sent it to me.
Come on, y'all. Listen, I'm just concerned, okay, that in this election cycle, when look, let me tell you why I think there's certain aspects politically right now that are playing certain people, right?
Yeah.
Because if you'd have kept your promises to the people who loved you the most, you wouldn't have to be panicked like this, right? You wouldn't have to worry about Herschel Walker and the fact that you say he's an idiot. You wouldn't have to worry about Herschel if you'd have did the right thing by these Negroes who you promised to do the right thing by. Anybody get their student loan taken away yet? Nope. You're not going to get your student loan taken away, right? Jackson, Mississippi, how's the water, right?
It's still, they got to boil you.
How's the water in Flint, Michigan, right? How's the water in Flint? How's the water in Jackson? What? How much have we sent to the Ukraine?
Yeah.
Right?
We at about 10 billion, something crazy like
that. It's the number. It's a stupid number, right? The fact of the matter is, now they're like, oh, now I just read an article the other day. We wasn't going down this road, but we got to hit this real quick. I read an article the other day that said, oh, they just going to send people checks for the student loan. So you're going to send these people $20,000 to pay their student loan.
That ain't going to happen. They lying. That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen.
First of all, if you send these people $20,000 to pay their student loan, guess what ain't going to get paid?
The student loan.
I guarantee you, right?
Damn sure.
So the point I make is this, right? Let's not fall for the banana in our tailpipe. Please, people, please. It's curveball. It's curveball season, right?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi story is wild. Like that.
Come on, man.
That with a husband is wild.
Come on,
dog.
right?
That's wild. So son breaks into a slide.
She probably, I would believe that she gets some kind of threat every day
on an hourly basis.
An hourly basis. I would agree.
Her email got to be dumb.
I guarantee you, she gets threats every day. Yes. She's got to be a high security coverage. Yes. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And especially with the rhetoric and the narrative she pushed.
Right.
She definitely is a high risk.
Right. So we just not gonna cover her house. So maybe Secret Service we need to go get us some curry chicken. We'll be back in a minute. He's asleep.
No, but anybody that has the inkling of understanding of physical security, you already know that's not how it goes. It's just not how it goes. She's a high value asset, so you're going to protect that even if she's not there. You know what I'm saying? With the full extent. Like, you still going to have at least one person there that's going to check the perimeter, that's going to check the interior. You know, so it's just a crazy thing where he slid through a sliding glass door. He broke a sliding glass door.
Yeah, come on.
He on the phone with 911, and on the phone call with 911, he's saying, it's my friend, he just needs to calm down, or something like that. It's something to that effect, right?
But
I don't want to put words in the mouth.
But this is the point, right? You break the window at the Speaker of the House's.
You break the window.
You understand? There's some security.
There's
some security companies,
and
right?
you in there in your drawers.
Come on, man. Anyway, let's move on. I just wanted to get that off my chest because that's been on my chest. Come on,
who
man.
breaks a window and get down to their drawers?
First of all, who sleeps in their drawers anymore? Okay, I ain't slept in my drawers.
No, I'm talking about something that broke in the house.
But he was in his. Okay,
he was in his drawers.
I guess I'm from the hood. I'm in sweatpants. I ain't sleeping in those. I don't know when I'm going to get that thing.
I'm saying dude that broke in the house when the police arrested him.
You sleep in your drawers?
Listen, we ain't doing all that, Don. Don, you getting weird.
No, the point I make is those of us who come from the hood, like we come from the hood, I'm sleeping in sweatpants. I'm telling you right now, I got on sweatpants, and I'm telling you, because I don't know when I'm going to jump up.
I ain't worried about that because, I'm super straight. But
I know. And you sleeping in sweatpants.
I'm super straight, so I ain't worried about that.
But the point is, all the things I keep hearing, right, that the media is not covering. I love turning the corner on conversation. What's the motto of this show? Listen, laugh, and learn.
Oh, no. Drinking and judging.
Drinking and judging. Why you listen, laugh, and learn? So, look, listen, this is the number. I want you to call us, 352-717-4071. The phone is open, right?
Yeah.
And I think Osiris just said something. He said
Put that back up.
Elon Musk. Can you put that up? It's Elon Musk.
No, he did. He got pressured.
Yeah,
he got pressured.
But Elon just bought Twitter.
No, but
okay.
Could we talk about Twitter for a hot second?
Yeah, let's do it. Elon Musk bought Twitter.
No. Fuck Elon Musk. Let's talk about Twitter for a hot second, right? So, I'm still stuck on this anti-Semitism and all that. I'm still stuck in the box,
let's do that then. Let's get there real quick.
No. Real quick, right? So, since Elon Musk has bought Twitter, do you realize the uptick in the word nigga on Twitter?
Okay.
I'm just saying, where's the uproar? Where's the uproar?
They ain't tell us to get upset yet.
Right? They got upset with Kyrie Irving for reposting a book in a movie I think it was, that is on Amazon.
Right.
So where the flack out for Bezos? It's on his platform. Right? You mad at me for reposting something that's on his platform. Right? So shouldn't the anger be towards the person that has it available?
You talking about Kyrie?
Yeah, Kyrie.
Again, right? Let me just say something, right? About this whole anti-Semitism drive, right? I want everybody to hear me when I say this, right? What's going to happen when the election's over, you're not going to hear anything about anti-Semitism anymore. I promise you. It's going to fade quickly. But I want to just take a moment, right, and say Morehouse College or Morehouse University is on some bullshit. They just canceled a basketball tournament.
Yep, facts.
Okay.
Behind Kanye West.
That Kanye West was involved with a basketball tournament at an HBCU that Kanye was involved heavily with financially. They canceled it because they can't be engaged or involved with somebody who spews anti-Semitism. I just would like to ask the people at Morehouse University, how significant have the Jewish community contributed to your endowment? I'll wait. This is what's happening, right?
I'm just confused, Don, of why is that. So the movie he was promoting or the book, right? It's a book in the movie, right?
I'm talking
about Kyrie,
I'm very
right?
familiar with it.
Right? So it's a book in the movie that he promoted, right? That pretty much said that black Israelites are the original Jew, that black people are the original Jew, right?
Right.
So what I'm at conflict with is that why is it that history can be told about us to death when it comes to slavery? Right? Mm-hmm. It could show men in shackles, women being breast cut off, men being sexually assaulted in front of their kids, being mounted by white men. They could show all this heinous acts over and over. Right? But the moment you tell the truth about just the Jews, though, right? Just the Jew, it's just the Jewish community, right?
Yep.
And it's not even a Jewish community. I think we need to frame this properly. The Jewish elite.
Right.
Let me frame this
because we ain't right. That's what we need to say.
Right. The Jewish elite. Right. So when it tells a story on how they got their money and what
the ownership class.
Correct. Right. So when it talks about their influence and what they're responsible for a while is ownership. Right. And what they control and manipulate or whatever the case may be.
The ownership class.
Now is anti-Semitism.
Right.
But when it's okay for my sons and daughters and whoever to look at black men getting raped by white men over and over again, and that's not an issue.
Right.
It's okay for the Django to have the word nigga in there 200 times, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right?
I agree.
Twitter uptick, since he's purchased it, is going through the roof.
Right.
So where is the parity at?
Of course, when you go into the conversation expecting that, then you're fooling yourself.
No, I'm not saying expect that. I'm not saying expectation. I'm saying, why is it anti-Semitism when you tell the truth about that particular class of people?
Well, I think in America as a whole, there's always going to be a challenge when you challenge the top. The problem is,
I ain't going against the grain.
When you're going against the grain, there's going to be a problem, and we need to accept that.
No, you can't accept that.
Again, that's what we're being told, right? But when I see places like
thank you, O. Hebrews to Negroes, wake up, Black America.
Yeah.
Thank you, O.
Absolutely. And you could go. What platform is that on?
Amazon. Go get it.
And Jeff Bezos owns what?
I know Gary's saying, be careful. I'm sorry, man. Listen, I'm going to die this way.
Gary, thank you, Gary. We appreciate that.
I'm going to die this way. I got to tell the truth.
Feel free to call us, Gary, 352-717-4071.
I got to tell the truth, man.
4071. Look. Let me just say this, right? If you don't see the trickery in this conversation, then that's on you, right? This ain't about putting nobody down or talking about anybody's culture. It's just about what's fair, man.
It's about what's historically true. Now, if this was a lie, I'd be the first one to say, yo, cut the bull crap. But if something is true, why you could tell the truth about the IRA?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You can tell the truth about ancient masonry.
Right.
The Knights of the Templar. You can tell the truth about all these different facts and groups of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But this particular sect is off limits.
But again, it is an elite class, and it's not everybody in that community. I have some great friends.
It's not everybody. Right. Once again, it's not everybody. I want to make that disclaimer clear.
But, and I think what this started when Kanye said something that was probably out of place in terms of what he didn't understand, what he was using a phrase.
And which was what?
What he was using a phrase as opposed to DEF CON.
Okay.
He said death con.
The shock value of it.
The shock value of it, right?
I get that.
So that was a oops, okay? And since that moment, Mr. West...
But it started before then, though.
I know, but
okay.
Since that moment, Kanye West has come to the microphone and he's apologized for the things that he said. And guess what? Why can't we accept his apology, right?
Because they already committed to economic warfare.
Okay, absolutely.
People need to understand what's going on with Kanye. This is economic warfare. No more, no less. So Kanye gets demoted to $500 million overnight,
and Puffy
and Sean Combs gets promoted
to billionaire.
Like, come on, man, pay attention to what's going on here. That's all I'm saying. It's like they're going to be able to pull these stunts time and time again because he who controls the narrative controls the conversation. Right.
Absolutely.
So when they put these blanket statements out there of anti-Semitism, when you Google and try to find a definition of anti-Semitism, guess what happens? It's subjective as hell, right? So they can frame it however they want to. And then we as black folk gonna eat our own instead of riding with our own.
And that's the challenge I see.
That's the problem right there. That's the problem I have.
Right. And look, let me just say this, right? We got to be careful and pay attention. This is a very important election cycle. And we have to take a minute, step back, don't get caught up in the conversation, because at the end of the day, right, it goes back to someone just sent me a message today, and I want to thank her for this, Naomi. I don't know Naomi. She sent me a message. She said, Don, it's amazing how many people, let me read this because this was brilliant. She said, it's amazing how many people were cheering because we had the first black woman on the Supreme Court, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, and the first Supreme Court case she has to step away from. She said, can you explain that to me? And we're going to get into that.
It's simple mathematics. I mean.
But the fact of the matter is, right, it's very important that we become more informed. And the problem in our community is we lack information. And information is easy.
But there's no excuse today, though.
Yeah, it's no excuse at all. It's so easy to get. We got to just be careful. And then we got to figure out, right, who is with us and who is not. Just because you look like me, just because you're my color, don't mean you're my kind.
That's a fact.
And we have been set up more often than not by our own
kind. That's a fact.
No question.
Look at every major infiltration.
I said something disparaging about the congressman from South Carolina just recently, and everybody got up in arms, right? Jim Clyburn. And I just, Jim Clyburn, there would be no Joe Biden presidency if there were no Jim Clyburn, Osiris. You know this. We all know this. Joe Biden was not even in the running until Congressman Clyburn, the longtime congressman from South Carolina, put him on his shoulders and carried him over the finish line. Jim Clyburn is the second black or the only black in these times, probably in 126 years, to represent the great state of South Carolina. Yeah. So I figure when Jim Clyburn carried Joe Biden over the finish line, I figured that absolutely, okay, not something, right? What did we get, Mr. Clyburn? What did you ask for? What did you demand, right? So
he solidified his position, his personal position.
My position is when you are doing it to that extent, You have to demand something, and guess what? You got to get something up front.
Don, so this is the same conversation we're going to double back on. The problem with black politicians that are in proper position is that they only care about their personal interests. As long as their personal interests are solidified and secured, that's their main purpose. That's their main motivation for doing what they do. Not the constituents. It's just a fact. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just the truth.
Now, let's get to this conversation we posted before the show. Thank you so much for the first 30 minutes. We thank you so much for joining us in that conversation. We just had to hit those points, right? We posted before the show. Were you able to get the speech by the young man on the steps?
I do have it.
Okay, I want to play a little clip, right? There's an organization called Students for Fair Admission, right? SFFA, and this organization is an Asian group of students, mainly from Harvard. There are 2 lawsuits right now from Harvard University and from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, UNC, where these students are fighting. They're fighting affirmative action, and they're saying that
on the admission side.
On the admission side, right? There are 2 different lawsuits, though. The University of North Carolina lawsuit is saying that the Constitution and the civil rights laws prohibit the university from considering race and ethnicity as a factor in college admission because that university takes state funds, take federal funds, right? So you can't do that under the
federal statutes.
Right, you can't do that, right? At Harvard, of course, Harvard takes federal funds, and they are barred from discriminating as well. Anyone who receives federal funds.
Correct.
The point I make in this conversation is y'all need to get ready because things about to change, right? And for all these corporations that y'all work for, the problem, see, UNC falls under what is the 14th Amendment, right? Mm-hmm. That is equal protection under the law, right? That you cannot do this legally.
And then you get in the U.S. Title 6 and 7.
Right, absolutely. So this is what they're saying, right? So they're saying you can't do this, right? Now the Supreme Court
you can't do this.
You can't do this. The Supreme Court is hearing it now.
No, I'm with you.
Okay?
It's just funny that it's so laughable.
You can't do this. The Supreme Court is hearing it now. And I just want everybody to know who work at these corporations who had these diversity meetings during COVID and after George Floyd. And how long did those groups last, the diversity? We come on, they had these meetings. I know some people, they would have 3 hours. Everybody just go Zoom online and sit in a diversity meeting.
Yeah.
And at the end of the
meeting,
meeting, it's like, what did we learn in the diversity meeting? Nothing, right? So let me tell y'all what's getting ready to happen. And this guy, Blum, right? This guy, Ed Blum, is a conservative activist, kind of way off to the right, right? He's right of right, who has been working hard to get rid of affirmative action anyway for the better half of 15 years. So he found these Asian students, and he's driving this narrative. So now the Supreme Court, which is a friendly Supreme Court to the conservative movement, is hearing this. So please be careful, everybody. It may start at Harvard and UNC, but it could end up at your job in a minute.
You got the clip? Go and play the clip so we can get back.
Yeah, right.
Diversity, as important as it is, cannot come at the expense of Asian Americans.
These Asian American students are leading a fight against affirmative action.
It's time for Asian Americans to break up with woke diversity.
They're at the center of a lawsuit against Harvard, accusing the Ivy League school of discriminating against Asian Americans to make more room for Hispanics and blacks. Calvin Yang, who's now a sophomore at UC Berkeley, claims he was denied admission to Harvard because of his race.
It goes to show that there is a trend here, a trend where Asian Americans are systematically getting discriminated because of who we are.
Now the case against Harvard and a separate but related suit against UNC Chapel Hill is coming before the Supreme Court.
The current law.
Conservative activist Edward Bloom has been leading the crusade to end affirmative action for nearly a decade.
Classifying students by race and ethnicity, treating them differently because of their race and ethnicity, it's unfair.
Bloom started the group Students for Fair Admissions
Stop.
initiated
I can't
cases
take no more of this
against
bullshit. Listen, guys, let me tell you the black people. If you heard this, what we just played, right? There's nothing more important to you Negroes than this conversation right now. There's this, and again, right? Weapons of mass distraction. Let's pray for takeoff, but takeoff took off, okay?
Gosh,
Let's be clear, right? We cannot allow them to redirect what we should be paying attention to right now.
Yeah.
This is more important than all this bullshit now. Let's go clear.
It gets way
This is
deeper,
way
though.
more important.
It gets way deeper,
This is
though.
more important, right? This is going to set some people back, right?
Well, I mean,
Yes or no?
I mean, but you know the conversation affirmative action is already bullshit.
Right. Okay,
I mean, I'm
go ahead.
sorry,
Come on,
dog.
bring
Like-
it, bring it,
like-
bring it,
like-
bring
like-
it. Bring it
so-
over here.
So, but I will say this: the Asian community has a legitimate gripe.
Absolutely.
Right? So, I think the Asian population makes up like 61% of the world or something crazy like that. They got some kind of ethnicity, some
Yeah, right.
right.
Uh-huh.
So, I was listening to the I listened to the hearings earlier, right, where they was going to see if they had a just case through the Supreme Court to take this case, right? So I guess it was a lawyer that's representing the universities, whatever the case may be. So it was asked, according to the data that they went through and discovered that there's some kind of personal type test they go through, psychological or person based. Like they try to so they try to say with Harvard. I'm gonna talk about Harvard specifically, right? They take a holistic viewpoint of the person, the whole person concept, right? So part of it is the SAT, part of it is like a personal interview, part of it is a personal assessment, right? So they was asking the lawyer, I think it was Judge Alito, right? He was asking the lawyer, what do you do? What is the significance of the data as far as the personal test that they're giving, right? The lawyer was saying this test holds no value, right? But repeat what he said though. I don't want to insult nobody's intelligence or education or comprehension, right? He said this data holds no significant value with the person, but it's a triage type system. So triage, to my understanding, what that means is that it's a value-based system, right? To where it's the emergency down to the less whatever, right? Less emergent, right? So if I'm on a triage-based system, for a while this is my test, right? And they said that historically the Asian community has scored low within this particular test, scored lower than the Asian, the Hispanic community and the African American community, right?
Yep.
They have scored the lowest on average, significantly.
Right.
We're not talking marginal,
Right.
right? So if you're telling me that it's a significant low score and it's a triage system based off of my personal assessment score, I'm put to the back, right? It's only 1,600 slots per year at Harvard,
Right.
right? It's something like 60,000 applicants,
Right.
right? So if it's a triage-based system, right? Listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I just got a lot of common sense, right? So if it's a triage-based system and I score low on this test, I'm put way down. The people that score the highest is at the top. So they're going to get the look before me, right? So by the time they get to me, it's going to be no more slots.
But again, and let's just look at this too, right? Because that's a very good point, and I think the Asian community they have
a legitimate gripe.
right? But I also say, according to the American Association of Medical Colleges, in the 2019 cycle, 56% of doctors in America are white. Almost 20% were Asian, okay? And 5% identified as Black or African American, okay? So the Asian community is still doing pretty damn good, right?
To an extent, when you realize their turnover rate, when you look at that, when you start quantifying this data, it looks totally different.
Okay.
Just being honest.
So you believe that the gripe is real, which I do. I've looked at it. It's a real gripe. And I believe
there's some prejudice. There's a lot of prejudice with this.
Okay.
It is. I promise you.
Okay. And I just think that, think about this. First of all, let me just have this conversation. There are more Asian CEOs in America than Black. Fortune 500 companies, they're probably
especially with the emergence of tech.
five or six
tech.
Black CEOs. There's significantly more Asians.
Correct. I agree with that.
And according to SHRM, right? That's a SHRM number from 2020.
I'm not going to debate that.
So I get it. I understand. but I also don't trust Blum, okay, Ed Blum, who's been trying to get a group to bite with him to drive this conversation.
He has his ulterior motive. I'm not saying that. But he definitely has ulterior motive.
He's been trying to get a group to get on his team to drive this conversation of getting rid of affirmative action. Now again, listen, I've been torn on affirmative action for the better part of 25 years, right?
Don, cut it
I've been torn on it.
Don, you ain't been torn. You know, affirmative action was some bullshit that wasn't designed for us. Cut it out. We're not even going to play this game. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that tonight. We're not going to do that tonight.
You know what I mean.
You know, affirmative action was designed to assist white women. Like, come on, man. Cut it out, man.
So I just believe that we have to be careful. We have to stay vigilant and pay attention. And we have to not allow our enemy to pick our enemy.
Which is always going to ring true. That's always going to ring true.
We can't allow our enemy to pick our enemy. I don't know what it is, right? But we spend a lot of time letting people drive us into conversations that don't benefit us. Michelle just said, post Michelle's thoughts again real quick. Michelle just said, you can't have selective enforcement under constitutional federal laws. Don't be mad because they beat others to the punchline. If you don't like it, demand more. Okay, Michelle. And Michelle's all got a point, right? Yeah, you know, I think we have been told, you know, it's amazing when I listen to black people sometimes, we let people who don't even like us tell us what we should be mad at.
We should be mad at. Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, y'all need to be mad at this over here. Like, why we care? Go ahead.
So no, lazy prodigy just put the goal should be not to take away from the action, it should be amended. But the problem, just like Jim Crow laws, never mind. Ooh. I ain't gonna go down this path.
Come on, ride with me, right?
So any law that they passed that was in their best interest, that under the guise it benefited us somehow, right?
Right.
When the law was revised, amended, or whatever, it wasn't. It still pretty much contained the same language, right? So when when they amend something in your mind, you're saying, oh, they changed this. They changed a word or two, my G. I'm just going to be honest with you. It still has the same premise it had before, right? Affirmative action was a good idea in thought, in theory. My fault. In theory, it was a good idea, right? But when you understand affirmative action and understand that the white woman benefited more than the Negro, which is factual.
Absolutely. There's real numbers to that.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's past a revisement. It's past an amendment. You know what I mean?
But think about this. 86%, right, of CEOs in America, according to SHRM, are white men, right? That's how? How is that? Right? So we are letting somebody tell us and drive us in the direction they want us to go in. We got to stop letting people. So what is the black population in America? I've asked this question so many times, I've never get it correctly. Last I checked, it was 13.9%. Okay, Michelle, go ahead, Jay, take that one.
No, I'm cool, man.
No, come on, man. You got to take that one. Go ahead, man. I know what you want to say. Go ahead, man.
I mean, there's so many thoughts. I don't want to be mean to Michelle, dog.
Like, Michelle understands. Michelle understands.
But it's like, that's really irrelevant. Whatever the black population is really irrelevant. The problem is that whatever number we have, right, we're easily divided. They easily manipulate us. They easily steer us in the direction that they want to have for their own personal agendas.
But again, so you got people like Michelle asking, what is the black population in America, right? And she has the right to ask that question.
I know she has.
But
the fact is,
so you want to do this just on numbers, not wait. You cannot do this on the number of Negroes in this country because you have to take into consideration what the Negro did for this country. So that don't even count.
That's
it's just how many of us here.
That's why I'm saying.
How many of us here today, right?
That's why I'm saying it's irrelevant.
What was our how did we play in the development of this country? How did we play into getting this country to where it is today, right? So that don't mean shit. Like, forget all that shit. Forget what you Negroes did to get us here. How many are you here? So based on how many are here, 13.6%, 13.9%, that's the number we're going to go on. And based on that number, it ain't enough of you Negroes to complain.
But it's not enough for you Negroes that's going to stand united to complain. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's
I'm not being smart to Michelle, but that's what I'm saying. The number is irrelevant. That's why I'm saying the number is irrelevant, because there's not enough Negroes that's going to be on one accord,
Right.
that's going to march to the same drum,
Right.
and then face it. Let's call a spade a spade. How many of you Negroes can be paid off without much?
I said the other day, this is what I said the other day, right? I was saying to myself, this is what I said. Say to myself, I believe that there'll never be another black president in my lifetime. I think there'll be a gay president and a woman president before there's another black president, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's T.D. Jakes. What's the motto of this show?
Listen, laugh, learn.
That's T.D. Jakes, man.
Drinking and judging.
You say drinking the judge. He say listen, laugh. T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes is probably the only black person. I'm just saying.
Man, that's sick.
But Michelle just hit a point, and Michelle.
No, she has a valid point.
Michelle is not a racist at all.
No.
But Michelle is a white lady.
I don't want to be confused about Michelle.
Michelle's a
please
white
don't confuse
lady
my
who
statement.
sees this conversation from a different lens. Okay,
Which is important, but it's not enough Michelles. This is part of the problem, right? It's not enough Michelles.
But the 0.96% black people in this country, right?
What's this population of this country? 40 million, 60 million?
400, 300, almost
what
3,
is- I don't know
three
what
something.
is it?
It's 3 something.
Like 350 million.
Okay,
350 million. So,
right,
simple math. No,
right. But the point is this, right? It shouldn't matter how many of us are here.
That's irrelevant. It's
What
still
should
irrelevant.
matter is we came here in an ugly way. We've been shit on
That's been dramatized and replayed
since
over
we
and
got
over.
here, right? Let's be clear, right?
Yeah.
We never had the opportunity that others who came here had, right?
Correct.
So if you're gonna have this conversation, how many of us now, then we need to have the conversation.
How many got lost? How
Right.
many not here?
How many? How did we get here? How have we been treated since we got here? And I know everybody hollers out, well, I didn't have slaves. No, you didn't have slaves, right? But many of the multinational corporations who hold our money and sell us products had slaves.
See, I'm
right?
about to piss some people off. How many Jews had slaves?
Okay, let's just have this conversation, right?
I
So
mean-
the point
this
is we have to be
This is the
careful.
bullcrap rhetoric that bothers me, though.
We have to be careful when we run to the numbers and like it ain't but 13.9% of y'all in the country, you know. And guess what? And Michelle, you didn't say this, I did. And y'all don't vote anyway.
But I can't
Y'all don't even vote.
But see, you know, Don, I'm cut different.
I know,
cut
but you
different.
understand my point.
I
though.
get your point, but I can't even get mad.
So we can't take issue with what Michelle said, right? But the fact of the matter is, her point is well taken.
We can't see Gary point all the way, Phil.
Can you move it up or slide it
Yeah,
up?
and that's all of it. But it's just it says it doesn't matter what Michelle's opinion is about the population of African Americans, but I guarantee you the color of man that amazes her the most are men of color. That's what's important. Who amazes
Okay,
her
cut
the
Gary. Hey,
most.
Gary, I'm with you, but Gary, we gonna stop that. Gary, I don't know where you're going with that.
Gary played too much. Again, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
Michelle.
joining
Thank
us,
you,
man.
Michelle.
Michelle, you
Thank
know,
you, Michelle.
come on, Michelle, all right, she know. Michelle could take conversation or she wouldn't be listening to this, right? I just believe that we got to be careful when we allow our enemy to pick our enemy. I've just been singing that tune for a long time. And
That's how the crab in the barrel mentality phrase was coined. Let's go
absolutely.
back. Come on, man. Look how long this go back, though.
Right. No, it goes way back, but the very
Hey, we gotta hold on.
that's me.
Yeah,
the very people, right?
Yeah.
That we spend our commitment, our valuable vote, our currency to go and stand on what is important to us. They get there and they forget who they represent.
They don't forget. Oh, tell my Don, stop it. See, this is the bullshit.
Come on.
They don't forget who they represent. They ain't represent your black ass from the beginning.
I
That
know,
is the
I
facts
know.
of the matter.
No, I
they
totally
said
agree.
whatever they needed to say to go for you to go to that poll, go in that booth, put the curtain behind you, and push the button.
I totally
That's
agree.
the absolute truth.
You know, it's
Like, come on, man. We got to stop playing these games. That's part of the problem, though. We got to stop playing these games. man.
and Osiris just hit a great point. He said a lot of the Harvard blacks are not black American. They're Nigerian and African, and there are a lot of Africans at Harvard.
No, that's a fact. So,
Okay, so right, if you want to talk about black Americans at Harvard, that number dwindles down significantly.
So another part of the gripe, right, of the Asian community that sue Harvard or pushing back against affirmative action, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that it needs to be a race neutral type system, right,
Mm-hmm.
where you just evaluate based off the person, not race involved, because we know, as we know, with the Nigerians, right? They're going to take, because these universities, especially like a Harvard, has quotas. I don't know if people are aware, right? But they have a quotas with ethnic groups, right? So the Nigerians filled the black ethnic group.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, no question.
But they didn't specify black American group. They said black group.
No, you're 100% right. And I've been there. I've been to the campus, and I could tell you there are a lot more Africans than black people. Okay, I've seen this up close at Harvard, at Princeton, definitely at Yale, at Hopkins, at many of those high-end schools, and that's the trick shot. I totally agree with you. Osiris, thank you so much for that comment. And again, as Osiris just said, slavery by any other name is the prison industrial complex. Let's go look, right? So we got to be careful when.
So once again, when I say it was ratified, it wasn't abolished. We got to catch up.
We have to understand ratifying and abolishing. And wow. Listen, thank you so much. Feel free to pop right in. I wish Gary Haskell would call us 352-717-4071.
Gary, don't call talking about Michelle though.
Gary,
I don't know what
you know Gary's history, man. You got to know Gary's history, man.
No, I know it's history.
Gary don't let his history be a mystery.
I listen to Friday enough. I'm in tune.
But again, I just think we have to pull away from the narrative. We have to pull away from those who have pulled away from us. It's okay. It's okay to tell. Look, let me just say something. I've been getting these calls. It's election time. People calling your phone.
I can't wait till the election.
And they
over,
like
bro.
ring. They like, would you like to give your support? No, I ain't. No. And then they getting these text messages, man.
Yeah.
Listen to me, man. Listen. The fact of the matter is, these millions of dollars that these politicians are spending on robocalls and get out the vote, GOTV.
I thought robocalls was illegal.
Not politically, apparently.
No.
but this is my point, right? And I want black people. I'm going to take a few minutes with black people, right? Y'all need to go on here with this bullshit, because why are they still begging y'all to vote? There's a fish fry tomorrow, a get out the vote fish fry. If you vote early and you got your sticker, you can go and get a fish sandwich tomorrow, right?
A fish fry to vote?
Yeah, no, you go vote and they give you the little I voted sticker and you get a whole fish sandwich. Why are we enticing people? Why we got to do all this, right?
What kind of fish is it?
It's tilapia.
You're going to die. You're going to die with that vote.
You know what it is. We know what it ain't. It ain't fish. Tilapia ain't even fish. I don't know what tilapia is, okay?
Oh,
but the fact is they got a tilapia fish fry. If you go with your vote, your sticker that you voted, you can get a fish sandwich, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, according to you, I didn't hear about this.
Okay, I'm just saying, man. And then there was a time when they were giving ice cream cones out. You show with your I voted sticker, get an ice cream cone, get a hot dog. Why?
Nah,
Why?
You're full of shit, man.
No, this is real. You think I'm making this up? 407. Oh no, that ain't the number. 352, whatever the number is. Listen, I'm telling you guys. Listen. Why are we still begging black people to vote? We come on the radio, spend an hour long talking about the plight of the Negro, and then we got to beg them to vote. Please come over here and vote. I'm going to give you some rolling papers. I can't give you no weed, but I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you some
easy water.
I'm going to give you some rolling papers. I'm going to give you some rolling papers and a one-hitter. Okay, come vote.
And some Reggie. Why would give you Reggie, though? I can't keep that excited.
If I give you anything, it's going to be Reggie, right?
Some Reggie.
Why are you begging and giving out food and clothing and then you get 2 free lap dances if you show up with your...
I do remember that one, though.
Yes.
I do remember that one.
At the strip club, matter of fact, a Representative Randolph Bracey in Orlando and Tavarius, whatever his name is,
yeah.
They both lost, but they had you come over there to the strip club with your I voted sticker and they hook you up, man. You get 2 free lap dances.
Valdema's Fish Fry Saturday.
Yeah.
And she giving out expungements.
The point is, right, the people she locked up. She letting everybody, that's how you win, Val. Everybody you locked up under your reign, let them out, okay? The point is, right, listen to me, man. Think about this. Representative Randolph Bracey had a thing at Cleo's, right? Cleo's, I went to Cleo's one time. What's the motto of this show?
Drinking and judging. I don't know
Okay,
what
listen,
you're
let
talking
him
about.
learn drinking and judging. I went to Cleo's one time. Representative Bracey, he ain't there no more. And this other young representative, he ain't there no more either. They say you come to the strip club, show your I voted sticker, and you get a lap dancer. You know what I mean?
Do I come with a side of chicken wings too, or just a lap dance?
Just a lap dance. But
Oh, man,
the
I'm
girl
coming with
that
chicken
look,
wings.
there was a girl
They would have had
dancing.
me with
right?
chicken wings. They'd have had me with chicken
The last
wings.
time I went to that strip club, I ain't been in a long time, but this girl was dancing for me, right? And I was like, man, you know, she looked like she tired, like wanted to go home, right?
Yeah.
Why y'all got her out? She looked like she overworked and underpaid, right? You ever see a stripper just up there just moving like, I just want to get this shit over with. Right? I don't really want to be a stripper.
She got on the wrong thong.
My real job, I work at Wawa.
She on the wrong thong. That's
She
what it was.
yeah, thong crooked. And they said, man, that's Trey. She one of the best dancers in here. I was like, Trey? They was like, yeah, Trey. I was like, why y'all call her Trey? They was like, you'll find out. And she was dancing for me. Then she spin around, and she had a boob under her arm. I was like,
Oh, so she had Trey titties.
Trey. I was like, okay, it gets you right there. But again, why are we begging people to vote, man? Why are we begging people to vote? And why are we talking about how difficult it is for black people in this country when we still got to beg them and give them special things to go vote? Because it's a curveball, man. And guess what? Another black man died the other day. They're pushing it toward the media. Expect to hear it more days before the election. Every cycle, they need us to be emotional, not informational. And until we change that, we see growth. If you go emotional and not informational, you'll get okey doked every time. Matter of fact, anybody see Joe Biden say it was 54 states the other day? Did you see that, man?
He was
Phil,
kind of
did you see that?
He was kind of Virgin Islands, and
Joe Biden said 54 states, and he fell asleep in the interview, man. Come on. What are we doing, guys? We have to be informational, not emotional.
the doc can get Joe a shot. That's what happened.
Listen, laugh, and learn. Hey, we'll be back next Tuesday. Matter of fact, next Tuesday is election night. Follow us, subscribe, and like. Hurry up. I need you to do this real quick before we
Real
go.
Rap with King, YouTube, Instagram,
Okay.
TikTok.
Follow us, The Don
Follow
Miller Show,
Don Miller Show.
YouTube, subscribe and like. Go to Facebook, The Don Miller Show,
Let's
Real
go.
Rap Kane on Instagram, Don Miller Show on Instagram.
Let's go.
We are having a live broadcast election night from 8 to 10 to watch the numbers come in, and we're going to
And
tell
laugh.
you where to find us and how to meet us on our social media. We're locking up the deal tonight. Don't want to say it on the air right now, but it is a great conversation. Live studio audience. We're only going to take a certain amount of people. But
And we're going to have chicken, I guess.
we're going to have fried chicken. Okay, come on. And some catfish. And some tilapia for those who bring their sticker. Okay. But next Tuesday night, a live 8 to 10 Don Miller Show. Phil's going to be there. Real Rap Kane's going to be there. Hopefully, D'Amica Page can join us. And many of the people you've heard on this show. We're
be
going to
in
invite
attendance.
Michelle out. Michelle is near your house.
Okay.
So Michelle's going to come.
I'm going to apologize to you, Michelle, when I see you.
No, you're not. You ain't never apologize to nobody in your life, okay? You won't even tell me I love you. I love you, man.
Hey, come
He be
on,
like,
man.
yeah, we good, dog.
Come on, man. You're going too
We
far.
good, dog.
You always try to bring
We
the
gave
wrong
you
shit.
so much time about that, man. We
Yeah,
be like,
that's
no,
a-
Jay, he be like, all right, I'm good, dog.
It was a whole show dedicated.
Yeah, I know. So, again, thank you so much for following us. Hey, Phil, where you going, man?
I'm going home.
I don't know where you going. Where you going, Jay?
I'm going to smoke.
I'll join you with that.
Say
Thank you so
less.
much, everybody. Quetta Jean Johnson from the Johnson family, Ridiculously Cable, Bleed the Keon and the Matt. Hey, over there, Sandra, nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else. And to all of those people who follow us, we love you so much.
If they die, they die.
If they die, they die. Bye-bye, everybody. I told you, I'm getting ready to go over here. Did you roll it up before you leave, or I got to roll it up in the car?